All right, so we actually had somebody on the YouTube channel just comment on a post, the Rubik's Cube post. If you haven't seen it, go to my YouTube channel so you can check it out. But they actually commented and said, Mike, what would you do if you had to start all over? I think that would help me understand how I can start. So in this video, we're going to talk about if I had to start all over from scratch, I had no team, I had no resources, I had no money, but I knew what I knew at least, right? This is what I would do. So the very first thing that I definitely need to do is just come up with the name. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, so don't spend too much time. I wouldn't even get the website. I wouldn't even worry about getting the business cards. Actually, I still don't have business cards. So I would just come up with a name. When you come up with a name, think of something that could make it easy to pivot. So for example, the agency name that I picked is Loud Rumor. Names like Loud Rumor, Google, Bing, Yelp, Twitter, MySpace, Snapchat, all these things give you the flexibility to be able to pivot into different verticals, as opposed to if you named yourself like Facebook Ad Pros, right? So now, 5 years from now, you're kind of doomed. So make sure that you come up with a name. After that, obviously, you want to make sure that you get the basic stuff down that you have to in order to do it legally, and you don't have to worry about it. So get the LLC. I would get, obviously the tax ID and the bank account. And if you can qualify now, an Amex credit card. If you can't, make that a goal of yours because you're going to need that. As advertising on American Express, you get triple points for any spend on Google or Facebook. So you can imagine how much money you're probably going to be spending on Facebook, and Instagram's also Facebook, Google, and YouTube, which all those are together. You get triple points. So spending $1 is like spending 3 in regards to points. When you're building an agency, you're going to need a lot of that money, especially if you're starting out, right? So that's the whole goal. All right, so you get your LLC, you get your tax ID, you get your bank account. I wouldn't start doing business until, I wouldn't wait to start doing business until this comes in. I would start selling right away. In fact, I have a business right now that we've already generated, I think, 4 sales from. It's videopodcastproducers.com, and all this stuff isn't even done yet. So we're already I think we made 4 sales. We've already collected income, and we're doing it as a DBA. But don't wait. Don't be that guy. All right, so you got the name, you got this stuff going. Now you got to start getting clients. So if you watched my video from the other day, I think it was like 2 days ago, standing in front of the whiteboard, same thing. I actually talked about making sure that you understand what kind of a niche you want to be in. So definitely figure out exactly who are you, and who are your clients. So who are they going to be? This is going to be able to be refined as you go on. But definitely decide what vertical you're going to go after. And just start with one thing. Now, if I had to start from scratch and I didn't have any proof or anything like that, then I would think, what's something that I kind of know a little bit about? Maybe because I'm a member of it, right? So let's say you are also a student in a martial arts gym and you've been one for 6 months. You have an idea. Or you've been going to your barber and you really like the way he does his stuff. Or nail salon, or tanning salon, or gym membership, or you like restaurants, whatever it is, right? Think of something that you as a consumer know about pretty well, because at least you can understand that consumer better than maybe some other things where you don't know. So that's kind of what I would do. Again, if you don't have a passion, right? So if you have a passion in something, you already know a little bit about it, or if you have a background on something, but if you don't have either of those two, think about as a consumer, what do you have more experience in? So let's say I was going to start with restaurants, right? So I have no experience in the restaurant world, and I don't know anybody in the restaurant world, and I'm starting from scratch, right? 0 clients and maybe like a few $100. So a few $100 pretty much already went down the drain. So I would definitely get a ClickFunnels account. And when I say ClickFunnels account, you could make it a Lead Pages account if you want to. I personally am a fan of ClickFunnels, but the reason is I'm going to be building out my client's website in here. And while I have that account to be able to do their stuff, right, their landing pages, I might as well create mine in here, right? So for example, I just started another company separate from Video Podcast Producers called Agency GSD. So when you go there, it's really just a landing page. AgencyGSD.com is really just a landing page that I created inside of ClickFunnels. It's not a whole website, because I don't even want to pay a web designer or spend all that time yet. I created this page in I think 20-30 minutes. I don't want to even get that far until I have customers, clients. I need to get that first, because that's got to start coming in. My stuff can wait. I got to make money, right? Because if you don't have the money and you don't start building those habits, you're not going to last for too long. So get a ClickFunnels account, so I'm going to need it for my clients, and I can create my pages in it as well. And then I definitely got to get some sort of a CRM or email provider. Now you don't want to wait for something again. So Infusionsoft's what I use today. That's too complicated, and it would take too long to get started. I want to start making money. I can always switch over to it. For right now, I'd probably just get like a MailChimp account. There's other stuff like Constant Contact and iContact and stuff like that. But to me, MailChimp has been pretty simple. It's not an amazing CRM. It's actually a really good mail service, but it'll do for right now until you start getting clients. Once you have 10 plus clients, you're going to actually need a little bit of a better CRM anyway, but the cool thing is you'll have the money to be able to upgrade to something like Infusionsoft. Also, ClickFunnels might be able to do well as a CRM as well, and it integrates with MailChimp for your email. So I would get those two things. As far as my phone number, using my regular cell number, a lot of people have stresses with that. They say, I don't want people to know my personal cell. Why not? Like, what are you afraid of? If something happens, change your number. But honestly, never happened. People have my number, and it's not a big deal. So you get that set up. Obviously, when you get your name, you want to make sure you get a domain as well. And you don't need to get hosting just now. But if you want to get an email, you can start with just a Gmail. But I mean, this doesn't cost too much. It depends on how much you start. If you have nothing, just start with a Gmail account for free Gmail. But you can go to GoDaddy, get a domain for like $10, $12 a year. And then you can get the hosting. I think it costs like $5 a month or something like that for the hosting. And then I think you pay an extra $2 a month for email. So now you can have like mike@domain.com. And now you can integrate that with Google. So if you don't know about Google's products, they're amazing, Google Suite. So with, I would set everything up that I can with Google. By the way, everything I'm talking about, I can do by lunch. With the exception of this, because you got to wait for paperwork, but I can do my part by lunch. So don't look at all this and think this is going to take me forever. By lunch, I'd have this all done, and I'd have time to spare. So you go to Google. The cool thing with Google is you're going to obviously be able to get mail set up there. You're also going to be able to get calendar set up there. You're also going to be able to have Google Drive set up. And if you need Google Voice, but it's not something that you absolutely need right now, these are the ones that you're definitely going to use right away. Mail, because you want to be able to do all the cool things you can with Google that you can't do with the stuff that comes with GoDaddy stuff, like I think it's like a Cube or Squirrel or whatever they use. It sucks. So I would use that. Calendar is incredible. And then Google Drive, which is to me better than Dropbox. The sharing is just much better. The way you can create spreadsheets right there and docs and presentations and all that, that would be perfect, right? Okay, so now I got all this stuff set up. I'm pretty much good to go. It's lunchtime now, right? Now the only thing that I haven't got set up is this, because I gotta wait for people, but I've done my part and I sent out what I need to send out. And you can Google, right? So anything you're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Just go on Google and type in how to get an LLC. I'm not going to spend time here, right? Because that's not what this is about. So, but everything that I can do on my end, I'll have done by lunch. Now that I have this done, am I going to create my page first? No, I'm not. You can if you want to, but I wouldn't. What I would do first is I would say, okay, cool. Now that I know who I'm going to be going after, right? Like what type of clients, let's say it's restaurants, I'm going to first make a list of the restaurants in the area that I can actually go walk into, okay? And when I go after restaurants, I want to go after franchises or multiple locations. Don't go after a mom and pop. The reason is if you do good with this one, then you're going to be able to get referred to others. They're all part of owner groups on Facebook, right? A Facebook group where all the owners live, that if you do really well, they start getting you others, and then you're able to really grow your referral list. Same thing if you have multiple locations. So you get one, then you get the second and third location because you perform really well with the first one. But I would look and say, okay, who can I go after that I can just absolutely crush it for right off the bat, okay? Okay, so the only thing I would do, now that I made this list, right, I would make a list of probably around 25 people just to kind of kick things off. I wouldn't go crazy, but I'd make a list of about 25 people just to kick things off. After that, I need to make sure that I have a Facebook account all set up, ready to be able to run ads to and from. I wouldn't do YouTube and AdWords and SEO and all that stuff just yet. I wouldn't even do Instagram, even though they're linked. I would just start with Facebook. I know I can get great results with it. Just start with one thing. Let's really develop some great results. and that's it. So set up my Facebook account so I'm ready to start running ads, right? Okay, so now that I got this list of people, the reason I pick local is because I want to walk in personally and actually go talk to them. To me, I feel like that's going to be my best chance to be able to get 3 closed. My goal is 3. Now here's the deal. I may not be able to close 3 out of 25, but I may be able to close 3 out of 10. So the cool thing is you can always keep going, right? The goal is to be persistent and constantly pitch so that you can finally get somebody that you can talk to. So, okay, great. So I got now, I go out and let's say I blank, 0 for 25. I'll keep going. But my goal, my pitch, is that I'll actually do it for free. Now, I won't do this now. Remember, the goal is if I had to start over with no background, no reputation, no nothing, right? So I would say, hey, look, I'd like to do advertising for you for free for just a week. Let me just show you what I can do. If you give me $200, right, I will show you what to do. And I won't make anything of that. It's going to go right to Facebook. And if after the first $100, you don't want to spend the next $100, then we can just turn it off. But I'm willing to do it for free for you for a full week. And if you love it, I'd love to continue doing it for you. What do you think? I'm really trying to start this agency thing. I'm ready. I've been studying it. I want to show you what I can do. I just need somebody to have faith in me and say yes. And you kind of have to come off humble, right? Where you have to be honest with people. Don't pretend you've been doing this for years and this and that. Don't lie, right? Real great salespeople don't lie. The reason people hate salespeople is because they think they're shady and shysters and hustlers and stuff like that. In the negative way, I say hustlers. That's because a lot of them do that in order to make the sales. You've got to be straight honest with them. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, John. I have no clients right now, and I'm really wanting to start an agency. It's been my dream. I just need somebody to say yes to me. And I know that every dollar here has to be accounted for, but if you just give me $200, and I won't take any of that, I'll go straight to Facebook. I'd love to show you what I can do with that over the course of a week. And what we can do is after the first $100, if you're already not happy, we could turn it off. But usually that's one person, one patron's dinner, right? $100. So if you give me this shot, you have to know that you're my only client. I'm going to work my ass off for you, and I won't let you down. And if I do, I'll find a way to give you the money back if you want it. There's no risk to this. I just need somebody to take a chance on me. You've probably been there before too, right? Right? So let them feel that, because everyone's kind of been there. Be honest with them. Let them want to take a chance on you. Let them support you in this new venture. So all you got to do is get 3 to close. Now, once you get 3 to close, your goal from here is to get case studies. Okay, you want to document what you've been able to do and get testimonial. Okay, now as far as how you run the ads, hopefully you know how to run the ads. If not, that's going to be another video we can talk about. But we definitely want to make sure we're not doing it for free hoping they'll sign with us forever, which, by the way, we do hope they sign, and that's why we want to go after franchise, because then we can get all the other locations as well. But the reason we're doing this is so that we can invest in our own business, so we can get marketing tools, marketing materials to go out and attract new business, right? So not only can we increase that by working with franchises, multiple locations, but also by getting case studies, we can now go after future companies as well, and now we can explore outside of our local area and run ads to that on Facebook with the profits that we get from them now wanting to continue with us for a fee. By the way, I would tell them the truth. The fee that I'm going to be charging is $1,000 a month per person. That's actually pretty typical industry. But for the first 3 people that take a chance on me, now that you've gotten the results, you want to work with me, I'm literally giving it to you for half off. It's $500. It's only because I don't have any employees, but I do need to make some money right now, so I do need to charge at least $500. If you're good with that, I'd love to continue doing this for you over and over and over, right? So now with that money, my goal is to go ahead and start running Facebook ads to get people to opt in. Now I create my landing page for my company, okay? And now I run ads to it, and the ads that I run are the case studies. Now I'm not going to spend more than $10, $20 a day. I'm still going to go out and reach out to people on my own. I'm not going to wait for the business. I'm going to go get the business. Now, if you guys haven't seen how I've done it already, I've done it twice. I have this really cool, we called it GSD Vid Machine, but it's basically a way to sell using video. And so what I did was, just like I'm standing in front of this whiteboard, I made a video of me standing in front of a TV that has their website on it, the company that I want to go after, and I would look for the right criteria, and I would basically just pitch to them why they should work with me in a 2-minute or less video. And I've kind of systemized a way to make it done quicker and quicker and quicker. But for right now, you can actually just create videos like that and then send an email, a Facebook message, a LinkedIn message, an Instagram message, a tweet. You just want to make sure they get to the landing page that you create in ClickFunnels or lead pages that has that video on it. And in the message you send out, make sure you have a picture of the thumbnail of you in front of their website like this, right, on the TV. And then the message that you say is, hey Joe, right, if that's the name of the owner. Hey Joe, I know you don't know me, but I saw your company and it compelled me to create a really cool video just for your company and a website. I want you to take a look at it. Let me know what you think. I worked pretty hard on it, and just any feedback would be great. I'm really wanting to work with you, and hopefully this helps. Now, the cool thing is, because it's you in front of their website, all you really need them to do is click on that thumbnail that's in that message. All you need to do is click. And once they click on it and they land on that landing page, that has a pixel on it that now allows you to build up that custom audience with people that you actually want to work with. And now you'll be able to run ads better and more effectively, specifically to the right people, and then run lookalike audiences to them as well. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about on this stuff, look this stuff up, please. I just don't want to hold people back. I know a lot of the guys that are following me already understand pixels and understand retargeting and all this stuff. But for you guys, that's what I would be doing. Okay, so my goal would be in the first 3 months, I personally want to have at least 10 clients paying me an average of $750 per month. 500 for the first 5, 1,000 for the next 5. So now I'm making about $750 per month. 10 clients, I should be making about $7,500 a month. I'm going to erase this because we got to talk about the next step. You guys feeling this so far? I see people liking it and all that stuff. So if you guys are liking this, you have any questions, let me know. But we're going to move on to the next thing. All right, so now here's where I'm at. Now, I got $7,500 a month coming in with 10 clients. Okay? So now what I want to do is hire somebody. And I want to hire somebody, an account manager. That is the first hire. Okay? An account manager. Don't hire a salesperson right away, because you've got to get real great at sales before you bring somebody on board and expect them to sell for you, because you've got to create a system. What you've been doing already is getting results for people, so you can train this account manager on how they can do it too. The salesperson, you haven't really refined the sales process because you've done it differently. Then you're going to do it down the road as you get more money, right? But the account managing is going to be virtually the same. So I would hire an account manager to take this workload off of you so you can free yourself to go out and get more new business. So an account manager, I would hire somebody for probably around $3,000 a month. Now, if you can afford to pay somebody less, go ahead and do that. If somebody can afford to take less, that's great. Go ahead and do that. I know it's hard in the very beginning, but again, who cares about going back to zero if you need to? So I would say, okay, $3,000 a month or 15% commissions of the fee that you manage, whichever is greater. Now, if you want to pay them a little bit more because you've got to entice them to come work for you, right? Why would they work for you, a solopreneur, when they can go get a job at a bigger company that might be a little bit more appealing to them? So if you've got to pay them a little more to get there, who cares, right? Even if you got to pay them $5,000, okay? Just to be able to get somebody there to get this done so you can go out there and get another 20. Because this person should be able to take about 30 accounts if you're doing it right, and the only thing you're running is Facebook. Now, if you're doing AdWords and SEO and all that, no, too much. But if you're just running Facebook ads, you're going after a niche, this guy's going to be able to at least handle 30 accounts. So now that you have 30 accounts, with the average one probably paying you around $900 a month now that you've gotten a lot more thousands, okay, $900, now you're looking at $27,000 per month, okay? And chances are you're paying that account manager anywhere between $4 to $6K per month. You could see the difference, okay? But the very beginning, don't worry about being super profitable. I know right now you're like, wow, that's amazing. I got like 20K cash. Well, it depends on what you want to do. If your goal is just to sit at home and make, maybe 5, 10K a month, and that's pretty much it, and not build a business, well then yeah, you may not even need the account manager. You're probably pretty good right here. Maybe take another 5 clients or so. But if you actually want to build an agency, which is the question that Jothan asked me, well then you are okay with knowing that I'm still probably broke, right? Maybe get another account manager so you can ensure really great service, and maybe they're each taking 15, right? So you can ensure really great service because you don't want to lose clients. And you can also hire an assistant. The assistant's going to be able to confirm appointments for you, book appointments for you, follow up with the account managers, pull reports, handle stuff like any type of customer service issues that you may have, anything that may be going down. While you're in meetings, they can take leads and book those for you as they come in so you don't miss out on opportunities. You know you got to get to those leads right away, and you're the sales guy. Do you hire a sales guy yet? No, not unless you've created a sales system. Because what happens, a lot of people think if I hire a sales guy, then they can go out and sell for me. That's not the way it works, because a lot of times salespeople come with really bad habits. Typically, salespeople are very, very difficult to manage. They're easy to measure, but they're difficult to manage. And so you've got to create a great sales system. Now, I personally use a demo. I use Keynote because I have a Mac, right? And if you have a PC, you can use PowerPoint, or you can use your Google Drive and have presentations. But I like to take people through slides step by step by step. And I always use Zoom, and I go face to face because I want to be able to see them while I'm going through the slides, because if I could tell that I'm losing them, I want to know. I don't want to move on to the next slide unless I know they're engaged. So if I see their face kind of start doing this, and it looks like they're kind of like waving to somebody in the other room, then I'll say their name. Right, Sandy? Yes. Okay, great. And right, so now I can kind of keep them engaged. So I like using Zoom. I also like using Zoom because I can record the demo that I'm doing, my sales pitch. You should always record your sales pitches, always. The greatest of all time, go back and watch the game, right? The greatest athletes, watch the game they just played so they can find little areas where they can be better. So in Zoom, you can record your pitches, and then you can get better and better at them as you watch, because you'll find weaknesses, trust me. So I do my Keynote there, and so that'd be the next thing, right? So I'm taking people through my Keynote, and I'm getting better at this. My goal is to improve my sales numbers before I hire a salesperson. Let me tell you what I want those to be, because you have to hold them accountable to getting to your level. Hold on one second. Sounds like my camera just turned off. Hang on. Okay. So you want to make sure you get them to your level. So here's the numbers that we look at. So let's say I got 100 leads. I'm going to use this instead of percentages because I think it'll make it a lot easier for you guys to kind of see the full numbers. So if I get 100 leads, now it depends on how those leads come in, right? There's what's called lead sources, and then there's inbound, and there's outbound. Inbound are ones that actually come to you. Maybe it's because you post stuff on Facebook and drives into landing pages and they opt in, or they go to your website, or they actually message you on one of your social platforms and say they want to learn a little bit more, or they came from a referral or something like that, right? So inbound is one. Outbound is when you actually go to them, you reach out, kind of like the system I told you. So generally, these are going to have higher close ratios in this one, and also of the inbounds, your best closes, your best ratios are going to be referrals. Now, a lot of salespeople think they're better salespeople than they actually are because most of their business comes from referrals. So you want to make sure that before you hire a salesperson, because he's not going to get the referrals, you are, right? Before you hire a salesperson, you want to make sure that you know how good of a salesperson you actually are. So with that, I wouldn't count any leads that came from referrals in your closing ratio. Because a lot of people, what they say is, oh yeah, I'm actually really good at sales. If I can get them on the phone, I close them. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10. If you're actually really good at sales and they came in from a referral, you should be 10 out of 10. You actually messed up somewhere. Referrals shouldn't count, right? These are easy. The person that referred them to you already sold them. They already know the details, probably the price, how it works, everything. They've been schooled on it before they call you. You're really just taking an order. You're not making a sale. So I wouldn't count this in your sales numbers. And so now you go, okay, cool. Out of 100 leads, okay, I want to be able to book at least 33 demos. Now, you may be thinking, I can get more people to do demos with me than that. Yes, but you got to remember, you are going to be disqualifying people as well. You don't want to close every person that comes to you because some of them may not be a good fit. And so you will ruin your business if you're bringing on the wrong customers. So you're going to do your due diligence and make sure that this is a customer that you know without a doubt you can get results for. And typically, you're going to get about half of those people qualify for that, and then 33 out of 50, if you can get those people on demos, that's really good. These are the numbers that I like to see in my business, right? Now, to the 33 demos that you get, if you can get about 25 of them to actually show, you're great. Now, we actually are really good at getting almost all of them to show, but that's part of being great at sales and understanding your process and getting better at listening to what you're saying and why it's not working. But if you can get 25 to show, that's really great. Out of the 25 that show, if you can get about 5 to 8 to close, which is pretty much a 35, anywhere between a 20 to 33% closing ratio. So I'll put that 20 to 33% close rate. Okay, then you're pretty good, right? Now, your goal is to get better, right? How can I get 35 of these to do demos? How can I get 30? Hey, sorry, hold on. I think my wife called me. My wife's really good at calling right at the worst times. So your job as a CEO is to make sure the numbers get better and better and better as you go, okay? So you want to make sure you're constantly measuring that stuff. Once you have this down, then you can hire a salesperson, okay? Outside of that, guys, starting an agency is, it's not complicated, but it is tough. There's a lot of competition out there, and people like to see proof, okay? And then you're gonna have to know that it's constantly a moving target, right? Your industry is constantly changing. It's not like you're putting in hardwood floors, you're making pizza, or like the way you've been making pizza 10 years ago could be the way you're making pizza today, right? So that's why to separate yourself from the competition, offering something for free is a great way to be able to at least get people to take a chance that maybe haven't been moving on anyone else. Being able to get case studies from those people to go attract more people is a great way to get that proof. And then you freeing yourself up from the work is going to be really great at getting great at a moving target and having account managers that can keep up to date with that stuff as well. I would 100% without a doubt in the very beginning, let's say, either way, I do this today, so it doesn't matter, but I would spend very minimum 30 minutes reading every morning before you start your day. But in the very, very beginning, when you got a little bit more time, I probably read for about 90 to 120 minutes, which is pretty much what I was doing, maybe even more, because I would read at night too. But 90 to 120 minutes. And the stuff that I would read on would be the 4 principles of business. And I wouldn't start with a big book like Scaling Up yet. This is the book that I absolutely love, 100%, and I wrote my business off of it. But I would say, okay, what books, well, number one, for systems and processes, right? Because I'm going to have to make sure that I'm not running this little side gig out of my mom's garage where, hopefully I get a couple deals here and there, right? If you want a business, really understand what that means so you start building your business right from the get-go. My favorite book for this is E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, okay? The next book, let me just put that, there we go. The next thing you want to get really great at is sales, because you got to start closing. There's a lot of good books that you can read on sales. The ones that I would kick off with right off the bat is You Can't, it's a long book to write, or long title, but You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. That is a long title, but that's a great book. So I would read that book. I would also get, Grant Cardone has a really great book called Sell or Be Sold. So I get that book as well. And then I also liked Predictable Revenue. So these are books that I would get working on as well. Once you graduate from E-Myth Revisited, by the way, I would get scaling up, but I would read that first. The next thing is your money. You want to make sure your money is really great. So there's a great book by Greg Crabtree, and it's called Simple Numbers, Big Profits, Straight Talk. That's the name of the book. Now, I don't know if I got those those things mixed up. It might be Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits, but I would get this one right here. That's an amazing book that's written really, really simple for money and understanding like local business on a small level, like how I should be managing my money, what are the things that are most important. And then I would graduate from that book to Financial Intelligence. That's another amazing book. So that would be the next book that I would graduate to. Okay, and the last thing is people and culture. So there's a few different books here that you can get. I like everything by Simon Sinek. So I'm going to say the 2 books by him. Number 1 is Leaders Eat Last and Starts with Why. My favorite book of all time on people and culture and just being a great leader is not by him, but it's called Multipliers. I've read this book a few different times, and it's by Liz Waltz, I believe. But that's an amazing book. Now, I'm going to give you a few others that I think are really great just for where you're at in your business right now, and I think it's good for you to read. And you could even read some of these books on their own. The ones that I recommended, I would get all those actual books that you can read. Audible, though, stuff that you can listen to. A great book for Audible is Built to Sell. Every person running an agency should read Built to Sell. And the reason it's a great Audible is because it's kind of like a story. So I would definitely listen to that one. Another really great one is the Steve Jobs book. It's the one where it's like all black and white and he's like this. That's a really great one as well. And then Outwitting the Devil. Your goal is to be a grinder, right? Is somebody that's constantly working and has no fear. And this really talks about how you can do that. And then the other book, this one's a beast, but this is one you can dig into maybe every day a little bit here and there. Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. It's a huge book, as you can see, but it's really just like 2-3 pages at a time where it talks about the highest performers of all time and how they've been able to be so great at what they do. So there's athletes, there's business people, and it's actually broken up into health, wealth, and I believe relationships. I'm not really sure, but I spend the most time on health and wealth. And that's one thing too. You as a business owner, you want to make sure that you're constantly focusing on yourself and your body and all that stuff. And one of the future Facebook lives that I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be showing you my routines that I was given by some of the highest performers. That book, I have an overall health coach and optimal coach that I've gotten some really great stuff from, and I'm going to be sharing that with you as well. So stay tuned with that. Other than that, guys, there's no real shortcut. So if you guys tuned in today because you wanted to find like what's the easiest way so I can get rich in the next 2-3 months, that's not going to happen. What I'm basically telling you is I go into this knowing that for the first year, I'm probably going to be just working real hard, developing a lot of content, creating the foundation of my business, and making the sacrifices that I know 10 years from now, I'm going to be happy to talk about this year anyway. It'd be boring to have a story without that first year of just working hard and sleepless nights and stressing out. So I go into it knowing that's going to happen. In fact, I'm there right now with this new business, right? Where I know going into it that for the first year, I just talked to my director of marketing about it. For the first year, we are going to be really just creating a lot of stuff, and we may lose money, we may make money. I'm not even concerned about it as long as I make a splash and I make noise. Those are the things I'm worried about, because in the following year, I can leverage that splash and I can really start making money in the right way. But first, it's developing the foundation. You should go into that too. Don't start a business thinking it's going to be easier than being an employee somewhere. Start a business because either A, what you want doesn't already exist and you can't go contribute somewhere else, or B, you can't make it as an employee. You got to go get a job somewhere. But no, going into it, you're going to be working real hard. You're going to be letting a lot of people down, people that want you to go on vacation with them, that want you to go to their barbecues, that want you to join them for pizza, and you can't afford the pizza because it's more important that you spend that money on paying that new employee that you have, or getting a couple leads in, or whatever it is, right? So no matter what, your first year is going to be one of sacrifices. That's number one. Okay, and then year 2, it's going to be learning. You're going to be obviously learning here, but you're going to be sacrificing less in year 2. Now it's going to be about learning, coaching, higher level, right? The beginning is a lot of books, and you still read books later, but now you should be able to afford some coaches to be able to help push the fast forward button and learn things that maybe you can't learn in a book well enough to be tailored specifically to you, your business, and how you can leverage it. Coaches can look at your business and help get you there. So first year, you're going to be making sacrifices, maybe, living paycheck to paycheck. When I say paycheck to paycheck, I mean client to client, I guess, in your case. But then after that, you can start affording coaching, learning, all that stuff. You can start affording it here in year 1, great, do it. Anyway, that's, guys, how, if I had to start from scratch, these would be my expectations. This is how I would do it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys loved. Actually, let me see if there's any comments. Actually, we do have a lot of comments. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to pull this down. Let's see.